inside my heart. God and only God, let you see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, 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 Shanti. You can sing along if you'd like. No pressure, but Jean's singing, yeah. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Peace inside the earth. God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth. God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, When there is peace in my mind, there will be peace on the earth. Thank you. Welcome. Good to see you, Maria, and everybody else. Come. What's that? Well, no, we have other things we can do. Then there's a reading we can do. Thank you, Nikki. Sure, I can bring the microphone out.
What's the subject, John? What's the subject that's going to be today?
Well, the reading is.
Peace is a Friend is the title of the reading.
Peace is a friend.
Yes. Yeah, I'll have to scoot a little this way since I can't do both. No, it's okay. I think it's fine. Good morning. Peace is a friend. We are the builders who we are building a world that has never been built before. I'm going to read that one again. We are the builders who are building a world that has never been built before. Cleo Wade. I now turn to spirit within me. I know that it is close to me. It is what I am, and it governs my life in harmony and peace. Ernest Holmes. As we welcome this month and the season of heart, let's begin with a gentle reminder. Everything we need to navigate the storm of life we find within, including peace. This week, I found myself in the middle of one of life's storms. As I rocked on seas of change and uncertainty, I searched for the coordinates of inner peace. I remembered that in the eye of the storm, there is a tranquil oasis, just like there is in us. As I looked for a path to calm my center, I noticed that the small moments of beauty and gratitude enveiled my peace. I found peace in the soft pink clouds of sunrise. I found it in the joyful song of the cardinal. I found it in the deep breath, in the kindness of a friend, in meditation, in prayer, in caregiving. It was here, hiding in plain sight. Today, as we set sail on a journey into the very heart of peace, it might feel like an unattainable dream. But when we look at peace through the sacred eyes of spirit, we realize that inner peace is not a dream for the future. It's a practice of many small steps that combine to create a new way of life. It's an adventure of spirit. Peace is a friend who never leaves, a friend who reminds us that these challenging pieces of our lives are not separate from the peace of divine love. Peace lives right here within us, illuminated by the simple, sacred moments of this day. The affirmation is, I unveil the peace within me. I have a calm center in the storms of my life. Do y'all want to say it with me?
Yeah. We can follow you, I guess. You read it.
Okay. I unveil the peace within me.
I unveil the peace within me.
I have a calm center in the storms of my life.
I have a calm center in this. I'm going to sing a chant that I've done before, since you just said about peace. It's called Peace Be Still. The storm rages. Peace. It's about that inner peace inside us. So it's pretty easy to sing too. Peace be still. Peace be still. The storm rages. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. The storm rages. Peace be still. Okay, sure. Peace be still. Peace be still. The storm rages. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. The storm rages. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. The storm rages. We have plenty of time for this. Nikki's going to read some more for us.
So we're buying just a little bit of time till Rev gets here, and it's interesting. So we started out with talking about peace is a friend, and then we went into a beautiful song that John did about peace. And as I was sitting there, I got really tickled because my mom is here, and she's in the back of the room, and when she's here in the center, she's incredibly quiet, but she's actually the most talkative person you would ever meet in your entire life. And when I was going through anything, especially in my 20s and my 30s, I got tickled sitting there because I thought about this memory that she would always say, and usually it was I was having a relationship problem, and she would say, well, Nikki, get real still and real quiet, which was interesting. You know, it's the best advice. I use it today. I tell everyone, you know, just get real still and real quiet. Don't make a decision for at least 24 hours if you're hungry or sleepy or broke or stressed. Like, do not make any radical decisions. Just get, you know, really still and quiet. So anyway, I thought about that today. And then thumbing through as we're waiting on Rev, something that I've been trying to work on for myself is a daily spiritual practice. I come here every Sunday, and I don't quite often put something into my daily routine. I feel like I'm kind of in constant meditation at work and kind of stepping outside of myself and in observational mode as I'm leading and working with teams, but I don't feel like I give like some dedicated time to some really good spiritual grounding, and I think it's incredibly necessary. So want to give a shout out to the Anna Booty Center that came and was here with us last Sunday. I went Thursday after work. It's 10 minutes up the road from me. At 6:30 they do a talk and a meditation. When I say a talk, it was like 5 words. And then I spent the next hour and a half with 5 people that I've never met before in complete silence. We did a silent nature walk, And then we meditated, and the Rama Kumaris, they meditate with their eyes open. So it was very fascinating meditation. I've never done it before. So I asked for something. I asked for some guidance with some spiritual practice. Had thought about it. Actually, I was told a few weeks ago and reminded, do you have a daily spiritual practice? Is there something that you're doing to keep yourself grounded? Because my goodness, you go and you really give a lot of yourself, but what are you kind of doing to ground yourself? And I thought about it, and I was kind of running on empty most of the time in between Sundays. So I know better, and I need to practice what I preach, so I'm trying to do that. So went to the Anubhuti Center, and there's a meditation that I really dig. It's eyes open. The way that I can describe it is you can kind of, for me, could kind of see a little bit. It was like I was in between this realm and maybe something else. There was a separation. I really don't want to talk a lot about it because they didn't tell me a lot about it. We just did it, and I encourage you to go give it a shot too. Their home really is our home. That really is our home. They mean that. I saw a meme today that talked about inclusion, and true inclusion is not just inviting people to your table, but like really believing they belong at it. And that's what I felt like there. And you don't feel that often. A lot of people say, oh, my home, mi casa, su casa. No, and they don't really mean it. Out there, those folks really mean it. And tell you can show up anytime. You can instantly feel the love. And I don't think them coming here to our center and this mixing is coincidental. I think it's an invitation, and I think it's something that I've needed. So check it out. So then I was sitting over there flipping and thinking about the memory with my mom, and Nick, get still and quiet, and the spiritual work that I'm trying to be better at doing. And for September, in the coming days, we only read every Sunday, but there's other things that can carry us through the week here. And one of them, it says soul work, daily spiritual practice, and that's like 2 days from now. So I thought that might be appropriate to read today. A little while alone in your room will prove more valuable than anything else that can ever be given to you. Rumi. That's invaluable wisdom there. It is to this center that we go in silence of our own minds to commune daily with the Spirit that is both around us and within us. That's Ernest Holmes. Sacred silence is one of our most essential friends. Our communion with Spirit illuminates the peace and the joy within and uncovers a pathway to the infinite wisdom that guides our way. This time alone in your room for daily spiritual practices is not homework, it's soul work. And it is the place where we find the calm in the storms of life. By carving out silent time each morning, we open a new space for inner peace and unconditional love, for faith and hope, for gratitude and joy. And best of all, it doesn't have to be complicated. We reap enormous benefits from a sincere commitment to a short daily session to nourish our souls. I've had a daily spiritual practice for more than 30 years. It's a fluid practice that changes with each season of life. I begin by walking with gratitude and an affirmation prayer, followed by an inspirational reading, daybook reflections, mantra meditation, yoga, prayer, a gratitude practice, and a walk in nature. When approached with joy and curiosity, our daily spiritual practice can feel like a sacred recharging of our batteries. We are plugged in, supported, and ready to face the world. These morning moments infuse creativity into the day, permeating everything that follows. We feel attuned to the wisdom, strength, and peace within. We notice the holy in the small and the sacred in the everyday. Our connection to Source comes alive. Consider starting or recharging your daily spiritual practice. It will soften the rough edges of your world with an unshakable inner peace. And the affirmation here is as follows. My daily spiritual practice illuminates the ever-present peace and wisdom within me. Y'all want to say it with me?
Yes.
My daily spiritual practice
My daily spiritual practice
illuminates the ever-present peace and wisdom within me.
illuminates the ever-present peace.
And then I guess I want to close since I'm talking about Charlotte's today. My mom is Big Charlotte, and then I have Little Charlotte. And Charlotte actually has rooms in her mind. And she goes to them, and they're all kinds of different rooms. And when she was telling me about this, I was like, whoa, I don't know that I'd say that to a lot of people. And then I was like, whoa, that's wise. And she has different, they're different places. And maybe one day you can speak to it a little bit. But they're all very different. And whatever she needs, she has a place for that in herself. And she knows right where it's at, and she goes to it. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Beautiful. All right. So we're ready to go. Thanks. Yeah, sure.
I'm really enjoying the reading, especially that affirmation, so I'm going to want to get that. Yes.
Is it from this month?
It's by today. September 1st.
That one, the last one that I just read is September 5th, Thursday. Soul work. Daily spiritual practice.
Yeah, I remember that affirmation. I do. No, I think I have some rather some of it just for the occasion. Yes. Hello. Welcome to San Francisco Center. Labor Day. Took a minute to get here. He asked me about my glasses. It's really funny because one of the things that everybody knows, I had surgery recently, and I'm not so sure I recommend it. I'll be honest. I got the surgery because night vision issues. The glare oncoming traffic, but I don't drive that often at night anyway. Probably because of the glare. But I don't see as well, blah, blah, blah. Got lost a couple of times. And so then I qualified for a surgery that I've wanted for a long time, but my cataracts hadn't matured enough. Okay, so I thought I was getting over, all right, I'm getting this surgery I've been wanting for all these years. But now I have great vision, distance, maybe 2015, I said, man, that's professional athlete vision. The doctor said, no, that's fighter pilot vision. I'm like, yeah, ego like the stroke, ego like the stroke. But every time I want to read something,
Yeah.
I have to pick up glasses now. It's like, this is insane. I fuss with glasses now more than I did when I wore glasses. I really didn't wear glasses. I just had glasses before,
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, I put them on, that's it. I can read with them. I got the progressive lens. I can see distance. This was no fuss, no muss. Now, my arms aren't long enough. So I'm actually thinking about getting some additional glasses that have a clear lens on top and reading on the bottom just to, if I go outside, my lenses used to change. Now I got to put sunglasses on. It's like, it's just fussing with glasses. So something to think about, Not everybody feels the same way I do. But man, this affirmation for today, this is the fifth soul where I said, my daily spiritual practice illuminates the ever-present peace and wisdom within me. Is that what we said?
Yes.
Where's Alicia? This is quite an affirmation.
Yeah.
The theme for the whole month is from pieces to peace.
Wow.
So the whole month we're talking about peace. Matter of fact, I got a little, let me see if I can organize this right here. Yeah, we'll explore what is peace, how to cultivate inner peace, peace with others, and peace in the community, and peace on earth. And truly put the pieces, play on words, together in order to rise up and be the peace we see in the world. That's a good one, to be the peace we see in the world, because if you're not seeing peace in the world, then
Yeah.
So peace, such a fleeting thing. It's not here today and gone tomorrow. Nope. We good? Peace
Yes.
is here one moment and gone the next. Gone here one breath and gone the next. Because when we don't have a spiritual practice that leads us back to peace, and one of my people always want to know what your spiritual practice is. My spiritual practice is surrender. And I don't have the discipline to do so many meditation moments every day or hours every day and all that stuff, but I do have the discipline to recognize when I'm wrong, to shut up and sit down and listen and surrender to the moment. If you don't do anything else to find peace in the world, don't defend a position you already know is wrong. Some of the things we got the sacred cows in our lives, and I don't say this to say anything bad about cows or the people who worship them or keep them holy, but that we have these special places that are sacrosanct, and no one can mess with these things. Sometimes we don't even know we have in our old programs. I didn't realize I got to protect my sister program since birth. Okay, and I got into a situation, somebody said something about my sister, and I'm like trying to back away, and next thing you know, I'm in a confrontation, and I'm wondering, why are you yelling? What are you yelling about? I mean, don't you know how not to take anything personally, Mwanta? You know the 4 agreements. You believe in the 4 agreements. We know the 4 agreements, right? Don't take anything personally. Yet here I am. Obviously, I'm taking it personally. How do I know? Because I'm pissed off. I can't be upset if I haven't taken it personally, right? It doesn't matter what the other person's done if I am taking it personally. Because it doesn't matter what's happening in the world. What happened is what's happening inside of me. This is the world. I am the world. That was the song I loved. We said, we are the world. We are the children. We are the world. Dr. Holmes says the manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. That's one of my favorite quotes of all time. I mean, it's hard for some people to believe that, but even if you're just the basic text from basic Christianity, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It talks about in the very beginning of things, there was this being, this entity, this idea called God. Yes? And then God created everything else. Yes?
Yes.
But from what did God create the everything else?
Yeah.
If God was the original substance, the original thing, then what did God use to make everything else? God had to use God to make everything else. It doesn't say there was God in some stuff to make stuff with. This is just keeping in line. Scientists say, well, there was a Big Bang. That's just one theory, but that's the most popular one. Everything came from a star exploding, but the idea is everything came from one thing. The scientists will say we're literally stardust. Each of us are the remnants of an exploding star. And that's why we have the same properties of a star. We have metal, we produce heat, we have magnetism, all the same things. Everybody's talking about oneness. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So when we identify who we are, we have to recognize that I'm not an individual soul. I'm not an individual anything. I cannot be an individual because an individual is not connected to anything else. Yes?
Yeah, that's right.
So what Dr. Holmes teaches us is that we are individualized expressions of the whole.
Yes.
That there is one mind, one life, one love, one power, one presence. There's a thing called oneness, everythingness, itness, isness. And we are aspects of that thing. This is a big bite to bite into. Sometimes we got to start nibbling on the edges to get it. But if we can just start with the idea that there is a power in the universe, like Dr. Holmes says, for good that we can use. Now we know that this power is here for our disposal. The more we use it, the more we recognize, wow, I'm using this, really, I'm getting some mastery about this. But really, this power has been here all this time. It's been using me the whole time. So peace comes to the realization that I'm part of something bigger. If I'm not part of something bigger, then whatever in front of me can be perceived as a threat because it's separate from me. Peace only happens when we separate ourselves. I don't like the word separate.
No.
Peace only happens when we can identify the otherness in our lives. When we can identify the otherness in our lives, then we know where to heal the otherness in our lives. And how do we know where the otherness in our lives is? The otherness is all the things we don't like, all the people we don't like, all the stuff we don't like. That's not me. That's some other stuff that I don't like. The fact that I don't like it means I'm going to keep it away from me, right? We don't generally frequent places we don't like unless we have to. Man called in sick one day. He said, I'm sick. They said, what's wrong? He said, I'm sick. Well, what are the symptoms? He said, I'm sick of the job. I'm sick of the people. I'm sick of I can't come to work today. I'm sick. Called in sick. That's one of the things that's a real challenge for us. Some of us go to work we don't enjoy. And then a third of the day we spend doing something we don't enjoy, and it's going to color our whole life, color our whole experience. If we don't have something we can do on that job, like Nelson Mandela had to do being in prison, he had to know who he was. He had to understand there was something bigger than the four walls he was looking at. In order to have peace, we have to know that we are bigger than the circumstance. Otherwise, the circumstance can and will overwhelm us.
Yeah.
What did I just say?
We have to be bigger than the circumstance. Overwhelmed.
Okay, good. It will overwhelm us. So this means I have to recognize that this is not separate from me. If it's in my life, I called it to myself. This is hard. This is hard. People don't say, I didn't call for all those things, the bad things to happen to me. I'm not saying you ask for these things consciously. I'm not saying I ask for these things consciously. But the question I'm asking myself is, what is it that I want out of this situation? Am I going to grow from this such situation and have it to make me stronger? Like the song says, what doesn't kill you make me stronger? Or is this going to be the defining moment of my victimization for the rest of my life? And if I've decided that what I really want to do is grow, to be strong, to be aware, to understand, to have faith, then I'm going to have to be in some situations where those things are required of me. Does this make sense what I'm saying? We don't get faith by kicking back, sipping on Mai Tais. That's not what we get faith that the waiter will bring us another one. I'm clear on that. When I was on that cruise, man, I'm sitting just trying to read a book, and there's a guy standing like this with a tray, and I've never been on a cruise. I don't know anything. I'm a country boy, I'm like, and he comes over and says, I get you something from the bar, sir? No, I'm fine. I'm just here reading my book. I'm good to read. Every 10 or 15 minutes, he would come over and ask me, could he get me something? After the third time, he's getting on my nerves. I don't know, what is your problem? Fortunately, I was able to just catch myself. I said, dude, you getting angry because the guy's asking you if he can get you something?
Yes.
This is supposed to be a cruise. And you're mad because they're asking you, can I get you something? And then I realized this guy's job
Yes.
is to stand here and ask me, can I get you something? I'm just not used to having it that good. All the time. Thank you very much, Pierce. That's what the universe is saying all the time.
Good.
Can I get you something? Or what can I get you? What do you enjoy right now? Which of the 31 different flavors do you want? We're always at choice. Viktor Frankl talks about that space between the stimuli and response. I like to call it the tick and the tock. There's a moment, there's a nanosecond, and that's when we choose what it's going to be about. And here's the thing about it. We take things personally because our feelings get hurt. Our feelings get hurt because we have a narrative about who we are and what the world is supposed to look like that is being challenged in the moment. And oftentimes it's being challenged in a way that we're taking very, very personally, because this is a place that helps us define who we are and why we're special. And when I say why we're special, this means where we're loved. And if we're not feeling love, and many of us have a dearth of that experience in our lives where we just don't feel enough love. My parents didn't touch. She said her parents didn't touch. I grew up not touching. I didn't realize I hungered and thirsted for the touch because I never had it. What brought me in the church, what kept me in the church in this particular philosophy, is they hugged me after the service. Everybody hugged everybody. It was the strangest thing. We didn't do that at the Baptist church and Pentecostal church. We did, praise God and all that. But at these centers, everybody's hugging everybody and everybody's happy to hug. And man, it felt so good. Sometimes I'd be late, like coming in late, but I'd get there in time for people to be doing the hugs. I didn't know that was a wound. A lot of wounds we don't know we have, they've scabbed over. We've learned to limp instead of feel the pain. We don't know it's there, but someone will come along, someone who's trying to help us. It looks like somebody who's out to do me harm or do me damage. What they're trying to do is give me an opportunity to look at the places where I do not feel whole. Everybody who's in my face, every circumstance that's challenged me, everything that's hurting my feelings is giving me an opportunity to reclaim territory that I surrendered to the pain a long time ago. I just said there's no life here. Beam me up, Scotty. There's no life on this planet. And so parts of our persona, parts of our power, parts of our divinity have been denied and restricted and cut off because we decided they weren't safe places to be. And we decided they're not safe places to be because those places caused us pain. And they caused us pain because we were attached to them with our identity. Which is why any identity we have besides the oneness of God is a false narrative about who we are. I did the analogy about the ice cream of 31 flavors. It's like chocolate and vanilla are arguing about which one is ice cream or not. Tutti Frutti, strawberry. They're all saying, no, I'm the real ice cream. No, I'm the real ice cream. No, I'm the real ice cream. I love the story about the iron filings that were on the way. They had a big argument about whether or not they should visit the magnet. It was a big debate. They couldn't make up their minds, but the magnet smiled the whole time, realizing they just kept getting closer and closer to the magnet the whole time they talked. And the magnet's just smiling because he realizes they really think it's their idea. The bottom line is you have no choice to be divine. It wasn't even your idea to be divine. It was the divine's idea. Oh, glory to God. Sometimes I turn the corner. I'm just following the breadcrumbs, and I turn it. It was the divine's idea to be you. You see? God decided to be you. This is not up to you. Now the question is, what is the you that God's being through you? Who is the you that God's being through? What are the limitations of the divine I'm going to put on the divine in order for me to carve out my character and my personality? All the stuff that I don't like is part of my own essence. But, how tall do you really want to be? Well, I don't want to be too tall, but I want to be tall enough to make an impression. How rich do you want to be? Well, I don't want to be too rich. No, I want to be everything rich. No, I'd rather be poor because there's more dignity in poor. Whatever we decide. My teacher would say you can go to the river abundance with a thimble or a tanker truck. The river is going to fill it. But don't be mad at the person with the truck. It's all about choice. How do I see myself? Do I choose to be abundant? Well, if I choose to be abundant, then I've got to cancel contracts. I have to liquidate. Is that the word I'm looking for? I have to balance the books in my life. So that means all the low down, dirty, no goods, all the people who harm me, all the people who hurt me, all the people I don't like, I have to make peace with them. That's why I like that what's that in the 12-step, that fearless search and moral inventory thing. I just gotta call it that because I've never been able to do that. 'Cause like, how can I write down all the stuff, man? That's just so much stuff. I can't think of all the stuff. How can I reconcile all the stuff? Well, one of the things I do, surrender, Dorothy. That's how you reconcile it. We surrender. We no longer hold fault. It's a no-fault insurance policy in this philosophy. There's no blame. There's a realization that life simply is. It just happens. The big fishes eat the little fishes. That's the way it works. The lion eats the gazelle. The gazelle eats the grass. The grass takes nutrients out of the earth. You know, you keep pulling up nutrients out of this. It happened in the South when they were raising cotton. Cotton took so much of the nutrients out of the earth that the ground was no longer fertile. They had to begin to rotate the crops with things that were going to put nutrients back in. Everything is taking from something. That is life on a three-dimensional plane. That's the polarity happening. That's the reciprocity happening. And there's going to be some times when we win and when we lose because we're in a construct where we believe that winning and losing are necessary in this reality. And that's why we don't have peace, because we're not always winning. And I don't feel like losing. I don't like losing. We don't like losing. But there's a place. What did Rumi say? Out beyond there's a field. What's the one about beyond wrongdoing and right doing? There's a field. I will meet you there. See? Because I know I'm connected to the whole. Because we know we're connected to the whole. That means whatever the circumstance, whatever the situation, I am a part of it. It's a part of me. I'm one with it. And I can transcend this by not being in opposition to it. Just a very vague reference. I was in a situation that looked like a fight. I can't tell you the whole story. It's too long. I'll tell you another time. But it looked like a fight. And it was going on for a while. And I finally became victorious. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, kind of strutting a little bit. But further on down the road, I realized that wasn't a fight. That was an invitation. But because of my own defensiveness. My brother tells me a story about being in Ghana for the first time. He's still at the airport or somewhere. He's getting his stuff, and there's a young man watching him. He sees a guy watching him, so he's watching the guy back. You know, from Oakland, man. You know, you looking at me, I'm looking at you. The more the guy looked at my brother, the more my brother looked at him. He's like having a stare down with the dude, just mean mugging the guy, just sending him all the vibes. And this is a beautiful thing. Finally, the man walks up to my brother. Young man says, Daddy, Daddy, why are you standing here? Daddy, you should be sitting down. Let me get you a chair, Daddy. And he runs and gets him a chair for my brother to sit in. Culture clash. He realized he wasn't in Kansas anymore. Elevation in consciousness happened. He was preparing himself for something that was not going to happen. But if this guy does the wrong thing, he could have initiated himself. People, we are armed for battles. We're waiting for things to happen to us based on the trauma that we've used to define our existence. I am this because that happened to me. I am who I am because of all the different things that have happened to me. No. I'm not who I am because of what happened to me. I'm who I am because of the choices I've made about the things that have happened to me, about my feelings about, and there's a thing about feelings. When we have feelings, we make up meanings behind the feelings. And I remember Al Tutson used to always say, it's not your feelings, it's your meanings that are getting us in trouble. Because if I feel afraid, it must be because something is threatening me. And yet we know that anytime we venture into the unknown, there's a sense of apprehension. Yes? It should be, no one talking about what should, but it could be a situation that whenever I feel the unknown, whenever I'm starting to feel afraid, I get excited. My favorite Rasiliism is that which I fear is the gateway to my greatness. When I'm afraid, I realize I'm on the precipice of something great happening. I'm feeling intimidated. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I can start to feel small and shrink away from the large, grand opportunity that's looming right here. So, oh, God! We don't like to be overwhelmed. It gives us a sense of helplessness. Helplessness and peace go hand in hand. I'm not saying being peaceful makes you helpless. Some people say being peaceful, you're not doing anything. No, being peace is the most powerful thing I can be. I don't believe the world needs more polarization. I don't believe one side is going to be able to outshout the other, outshoot the other, or even beat the other. In the course of history, humanity still has the same problems we've always had. We've solved none of them. We keep thinking there's going to be a day, there's going to be a day. Now, if you're really a religious person, you get to believe that there's a day when I'm going to go to heaven and none of this stuff is going to be here anymore. If you're a political person, one day my side is going to eventually overcome and defeat them, never to rise again. Except that's not the way politics works. Even in war, that's not the way war works. There's always going to be another battle because there's always going to be conflict and a mindset and a construct that is set up on conflict. So if you're in conflict, it's normal to be in conflict. If people are annoying you and getting on your nerves, they're supposed to do that. Just like they're supposed to be there for my joy. How do I want to learn this lesson? See, the easy lessons happen easy. My daughter says, Daddy, that's the easy lesson. But some of the things that I'm holding on to really, really hard, those sacred places that I don't want to grow because I get some kind of benefit out of being right about it. And somebody has to come in, what my friend like Rodney likes to say, sometimes our awakening is a shakening. Sometimes the flagman's got the light doing this and go back. It's the wrong way. We just run right over him and wonder why we wound up in the ditch. Everything in my life came to serve me. Can you say everything in my life comes to serve me?
Everything in my life comes to serve me.
Everything in my life comes to bless me.
Everything in my life comes to bless me.
This is what I surrender to.
This is what I surrender to.
Oh, great. I like that. Wasn't what I said. So when I approach it from this position, whatever's happening in front of me, I realize there's a benefit in here for me. You know, kind of like was that story about the optimist? He always was happy and his mom was upset because he was just happy about everything all the time. It's just not normal. Something's wrong with my kid. He had a twin brother who was a pessimist. The doctor says, we're going to do a trick for Christmas. For the pessimist, get him everything you want. For the optimist, get him some kind of a booby prize. Oh, that's a good idea. That should shake this up. Because this guy's never happy. This guy's never sad. There needs to be some balance. So sure enough, mom gives the pessimist everything the kid wanted. He's just complaining. Oh, this is not the color I wanted. You know, Johnny got one of these last week. You know, I only got 2 of these. Oh, I really needed 4. There's just something wrong. There's still something wrong. She said, that didn't work. She goes to check on the optimist. And she got him a room full of horse manure. And he's digging tunnels through it and sliding down and making sculptures and just having himself a gay old time. And she says, I can understand the pessimist, but I got you a room full of horse manure. How can you still be happy? See, this is. He says, Mommy, you can't fool me. But all this horse manure here, there's got to be a pony here somewhere. There's got to be a pony here somewhere. There's too much horse feathers for there to be anything else possible. For there to be any other possibility. Brother Ishmael's got a phrase he says, it cannot be otherwise. So when I'm involved in any circumstance, when I say I mean we, I mean us, there's only one of us here. When the divine is involved, the divine recognizes itself in all circumstances, in every situation. That's what Namaste is about. I salute the God in you. You salute the God in me. When you know who you are, when you recognize that you're one with the divine, everything you look at looks like the divine, and there must be a pony there somewhere. And I'm in it for the pony people. My daughter Maisha's got a phrase I'm starting to get in touch with. She said, Daddy, I just want to see how good can it get. She's finally in the surrender mode. I just want to see how good can it get. How wonderful can it be? I don't want to have nothing to say about nothing. I don't have an opinion about anything. And even the opinions I have that I don't know I have, I'm letting go of them too, because I know opinions only happen based on the pain of my experience or the joy of my experience. And see, that's the thing. I don't get to choose between pain and joy. That's the poem that Rumi did, and I'm not going to do the poem right now, but please call me by my true names. He talks about, so I can hear all of my joys and all of my cries at once. All of my joys and all of my cries at once. Why is this? Because my joy and my pain all flow from the same source. I've got a central nervous system that's going to register both. It doesn't really care. The stimulation is going to happen. That's what it's designed to do. My spiritual nature has a similar activity. The difference is this. We can affect what happens on the spiritual plane, even the physical plane. We already know you don't have to feel physical pain. People get hypnotized and pierce themselves with things. They don't feel anything. I've walked on coals. People walk that don't get burned. Clearly physical pain is not a reality. What? Oh.
Clearly physical pain.
Thank you. Ayana said, no, I want a big slice of that piece of cake right there. I'm not letting that cake go by no. Give me some of that. But we get so used to believing it, just like we keep talking about sunrise and sunset. We know that the sun's not rising and the sun's not setting, but we say it so much we condition our minds to believe that it's true. I saw this thing on what is it said? I wish I could remember the phrase, but he says, you're not going to believe your own ears. I'm going to teach you how not to believe them. He says, this phrase says, listen to the phrase once, and then I want you to listen to it, and this is what it's telling you. And it gives you this particular phrase. It says the phrase 4 times. God, I wish I could remember what this phrase is. I'll bring it back next time. And you listen to it, and I know it's a trick. I know it's a trick. So I'm like, oh, you're not going to trick me, you know. It did sound different the first time I heard it. But when I listened to it the second time, it sounded exactly like what the man said it was going to sound like. I don't even know if I just felt it sound different because I didn't want to be tricked, but it really sounded different. But the part that blew my mind was, you say this thing 4 times. You hear the same phrase 4 times. But in reality, at the end of the exercise, he shows us that there were 4 different statements that were all made. But because we were expecting it to be this particular statement, we all heard the same statement 4 times in a row, even though there were 4 different statements. I got to tell you, I was not happy about it. I don't appreciate you manipulating me like this, man. Showing me how common and ordinary I am. But it's good to know how easily I can be fooled. It's good to know that reality is a construct. That's why we love the movie about the Matrix. We are in the Matrix. It's true. It's all what we decide it's going to be. The pitcher throws a pitch. He says strike. The batter says ball. But the umpire says it ain't nothing until I call it. Until I call it. Who you are is not the pitcher. You're not the batter. You're the umpire. You're the observer. You're the one who's making reality. We're all reality makers. Somebody call us, there's a thing in there, but I like my friend, God bless him, he's having some health challenges right now. He says, I'm a makeup artist. If I don't know what's going on, I'll just make something up. We're all graduates of MSU making stuff up. I was at a conference once, this guy was doing this exercise. He starts flashing cards, a deck of cards. I can tell something's wrong with the cards, but I can't figure out what it is. And you got to call which card it is. Ace of spades, queen of hearts, blah, blah, blah. And so finally at the end he shows you all the red cards are black and all the black cards are red. So all the clubs look red and all the spades look red. All the diamonds look black and all the whatever the other one is. Hearts. Wow. And all the hearts look black. But he's flashing it before you so fast, you can't really make the distinction. But we have an algorithm on our mind, a heuristic algorithm that's going to make it up. So we fill in the gaps. We fill in the gaps in our life with the expectation of what's happened before. I've actually read that we don't even remember what happened to us. What we remember is remembering it the last time we remembered it. We don't even remember the original episode. We remember the carbon copy of it. Some of us know what a carbon copy is. Okay. You know, reproduced down the line maybe 30 or 40 times. So, don't believe anything you see. Don't believe anything you hear. More importantly, glory to God, don't believe anything you think. You got to stop listening to that narrative that's coming out of our minds that's telling us There's winners and losers. There's lack and limitations. Right now, during this election cycle, it's extremely difficult to do this. It's like weapons of mass distraction, man. Plucking the heartstrings. I'm going to make you afraid so you'll vote for me. No, I'm going to make you afraid so you'll vote for me. No, I'm not going to make you afraid. I'll make you happy so you can vote for me. Well, I'm trying to pluck on your emotions to get you to do what I need you to do. What is the story that you're telling about yourself that I can tie into to use to my advantage? I'm a victim to my story this way, you see. I have to react the same way. I found myself yelling about something of no consequence because I was taking it personally. But see, the thing says don't take it personally. You can't help but take things personally. That's the fallacy of that law in the Four Agreements. It doesn't follow up with what I believe should be, and don't take it personally when you find yourself taking it personally. We all do it. But see, when I find myself taking it personally, then it's incumbent upon me to not take it personally anymore. And how do I do that? Everything that comes to me comes to bless me. See? I don't have to stop being mad. I can't stop being mad. You can't stop being something. You're in the middle of it now. It's going to complete its cycle unless something completely interrupts it. Some kind of, unless there's another law that counteracts it, like enough joy floods the situation, all of a sudden you're happy. A shift in perspective. What gives me a shift in perspective? What gives us all the shift in perspective? The realization that what? Everything is working for me. The Bible says all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard the good thing in store for those who love who? The Lord. The Lord represents the law. The law is reciprocity. It's done unto us as we believe. When we understand it's done unto us as we believe, we have to question, what do I believe when I start looking at some of the stuff that I'm looking at? As you say, that can't be true. It can't be true that it's done it because I don't believe none of the stuff that's happening to me. I'm not conscious of that. This young man right here in the front. What's the guy who started the movement, the PPI? Louis who? That's Louis Bostwick. I saw him once. I'm watching Louis Bostwick. I'm just getting this like PPI, Berkeley Psychic Institute thing. I'm watching him. He's doing a pretty good talk. And for some reason, for no reason, I don't understand, he just randomly says, it doesn't have nothing to do with his talk. He randomly says, I'm racist, and glanced over there at me. I'm like, what the hell? What is this dude's problem? What the? Okay, I was triggered. I'd still be a little bit triggered about that. He just threw that in there. It's like, parfait, gum, mint, I'm racist, and then kept on talking like he didn't say anything. I'm sitting there stewing about this. So what the hell is going on? Why does he do that? What's wrong with this dude? And I'm talking to people who I know. He said, well, he's psychic. He can pick. I said, I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, but it's in there, Mawant. It's in there. I wasn't ready to hear that, but I get it now. Yeah. Amy Jo said maybe it was the person behind you. You just thought he was talking to you. He didn't say me specifically. But I know I specifically reacted, and I decided okay? Guess what? If you're an empath, and there's a good chance you are one if you're in this room right now, that means you're going to be picking up other people's feelings. And you're picking up other people's feelings because there ain't no such thing as other people's feelings. There's just feelings. There's no other people. There's just oneness expressed as each of us. And so the spectrum of feelings is always available to us. And we are going to latch onto the frequencies that we are accustomed to. And I had been coming from a very specific situation. When I think about it, I had just recently been the administrative, was it the secretary? No. I had an office. Okay. I was the minister of not defense, but something else for the All-African People's Revolutionary Party. Now, I had left the All-African People's Revolutionary Party because there were some things that I just couldn't get along with anymore. I had found religious science, and religious science didn't mean I didn't have to struggle. And their whole message is the struggle is primary. The struggle is primary. See, now I'm involved in this because this is a good thing. It's helping black people. I want to help black people. Dialectal material, Africa for Africans. You know, I say, this is good stuff. I'm really in this. But the struggle is primary, my brother. The struggle is primary. Okay, that's the party line. Reverend E, my mother, she heard me doing that one day. She got in this philosophy for me. She said, why do you keep talking about the struggle, the struggle, the struggle? Well, because we're trying to organize the masses. And it's difficult. It's a struggle to organize the masses. She said, well, what you really want to do is organize. Why don't you say organization is primary? Instead of the struggle is primary. Talk about what you want and not what you don't want. I'm like, damn, see, now all of a sudden, mind shift. Okay, I got it. Show me the math. Show me the blueprints. I'm going to comply. I couldn't get back to the next meeting. I told them, but brothers and sisters, you know, we need to work on this. The struggle is primary, blah, blah, blah. We want to go with organization is primary. I'm so proud of organization is primary. It's crickets. My daddy had one that I probably shouldn't tell. You could hear a rat peeing on cotton from across the street. At midnight, that's how quiet it was. That's how quiet it was in that room. There's nothing happening in there. People were like, what? And then found somebody back and said, yeah, brother, but organization struggle. And that's why we say the struggle is primary. And they said, yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, that's right. And everybody joined in. I realized I can't stay here anymore. Sometimes you might have to change where you get your hair done. Oh, yeah. It would have been. It would have been revolutionary if they had gotten. You're right, Ayana. I had to change where I got my hair done. He got these movies on all the time, and everybody else seemed to like them, but I'm not grounded enough. Somebody's always running for their life, screaming, getting killed. I'm leaving there. He's been up here in my crown chakra just messing around. I'm wide open for this stuff, man. Somebody backfired. Oh, I can't come back here. You have to choose where you spend your time. There's a thing called peace. It's not just a goal. It's an exercise. It's a practice. I have to practice peace. We have to practice it. It's a destination and a journey at the same time. The destination is peace, and the journey for the destination is perfect peace with every second of my life, every breath, every heartbeat. What am I doing? I'm returning to the peace, the primordial peace. The 11 laws of God says we come from a stillness so great that it cannot be disturbed. That's the seat of peace. That predates let there be light. Because before the let there be, there was stillness, there was silence. Before the Spirit moved across the face of the waters, there was stillness. Everything goes back to stillness. So our peace is our ability to access the stillness. The thing, the compass that points north is everything comes to bless me. Everything comes to serve me. So now I can get still. There was this bully in the neighborhood just to intimidate you. You got your fist balled up like you're going to protect yourself, and he'd laugh and say, unball your fist. He'd say, unball it. If you don't put your hands down and become defenseless in front of me, I'm going to hurt you worse. And he'd make you. But guess what? That's what it requires. Because, see, I have to be somebody different now. Something funny happened to me as I aged. You know, my hands developed maladies. I can't make a complete fist anymore. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? So the idea of hitting somebody with that one time I called the hammer of God, that ain't going to happen. This hammer's brittle. This hammer is going to hurt bad. I'll hit somebody and fall down in pain. At some point I realized you can't fight anymore, dude. That's a hard realization to come to. You can't fight anymore. You might as well surrender. I can't beat anybody. So what am I fighting? I'm grateful that I have a consciousness that recognizes there's always more to me than flesh and bone, that I'm bigger than the circumstance, I'm stronger than the situation, that the power and the presence of God rests and abides in and through and as me, and everything that looks like opposition. And because it looks like everything through opposition, I can mine the gold, the blessings, the beauty, the joy, in the place that once gave me terror, because once I lose my fear of it, now I can tread in there with grace and ease and extrapolate the blessing that is designed for me to have. Yes? Man, I walked into an emergency hospital room. One of our members was there. I'm going to a hospital visit. Talk about old tapes playing out. We have a great relationship. We've been in a relationship for 20 years plus. I'm there visiting with her, and she says, you know, Reverend White, I'm going to be honest with you. When you first walked in my room, all I saw was a large black man coming into my room. I didn't see you at first. In Ho'oponopono, there are 4 things you say. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. This is an exercise in surrender, an exercise for peace, but you're not talking to your opponent. You're talking to the God in the opponent, the God in the circumstance, the God in the problem. I love you, God. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you before. You look like a problem. You look like a hazard. You look like a threat. You look like a danger. Sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. That's a surrender move. It's just a surrender exercise in every circumstance, in every people. Do not fight to hold the ground you have. If something is threatening to take it away, that's why Scripture says, turn the other. Let it go. Don't fight for that, because what I'm holding on to are crumbs under the table. The banquet has been prepared for me. Get off your knees off the under the table fighting for the crumbs. So what? How good can it be in your life? I like that expression. How good do you really want it to be? How much peace do you really want? Because see, the Scripture talking about the lion laying down with the lamb. The lion looks like the villain or the carnivore, the predator. And of course, the lamb is all innocent, yes? It's prey. But they laid down together, according to Scripture, because we have resolved the conflict that we have between the lamb and the lion. How good do you want it to be? How good can you stand it? Anybody want to tell me how good they can stand it? I want 3 people. We're going to end this with 3 testimonies about how good I know my life can get. This is bold. This is not for lightweights, not for people that, I'm glad I'm asking you guys to do this, and I'm not somebody not asking me to do it. I'm going to be telling you the truth. Anybody? No? I know there's at least 3. Thank you.
For me, I can get it better than I could possibly imagine.
It can get better than you can possibly. And how good can you imagine it?
Well, I find that when I set limits and goals on what I can imagine how good it's going to be, I shortchange myself.
Okay.
When my plans don't come true, I end up better than I ever thought I would.
Lord have mercy. Tell the truth now. When my plans don't come true. What'd you say?
When my plans don't come true or work out, I end up far better off than I thought.
When my plans don't come true or work out, I wind up far better off than if I'd gotten what I asked for. When I learned to pray in this place, it would always say, this or something better. I quit saying the this or something better. Just give me my highest good. I don't even want what I think I want. In the old church, they say, Lord, while I'm down here praying, search my heart. You know what I need. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I got you. Search my heart, God, and give me what I need. How good can it be? 2 more, 2 más. Okay, 1 and 2.
I think it feels like magic.
It feels like magic.
Like magic, that's what it's like. Something unexpected and joy-filled and like a breath of fresh air.
Unexpected and joy-filled like a breath of fresh air. Can you imagine just walking through the life having a moment at all times? Indeed. Thank you. Yes.
So magic, I was going to say wonder. We have these moments as we move through our days, and so I do an eye drop. I had that same surgery you had last year, and I'm 25. And about having those glasses, reading glasses. But I was looking for the eye drop that I'm still doing in this right eye.
Yes.
And I know where it's supposed to be,
Yes.
but it wasn't there.
Yes.
And we were talking about peace and I always have this mantra, nothing is ever lost.
Yes.
And as soon soon as I said that, bam. And so the wonder, because, and then I'm going, I really shouldn't be wondered by this anymore, because I know it's true. And so that's for me, so better than better, or highest good, yes, or and highest good, yes.
Thank you. Yes.
How good can it get?
How good can it get?
This is it.
Okay.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
Always, all the time.
Always, all the time.
It's as good as it gets.
It's as good as it gets.
Right now.
Right now.
Right, as soon as I said that, this is as good as it gets.
This is as good as it gets. Can you go further on that? Because some people might be worrying about what that means.
The present.
The
They
pre-
don't call it the present for nothing.
They don't call it the present for nothing. What'd he say?
They don't call the present for nothing.
The present moment is as good as it gets.
That's all we have.
That's all we got.
And it has everything.
And it's got everything.
Yes.
How much of my good am I going to harvest in this moment? Some of my good, a little bit of good, part of my good. Am I willing to sacrifice? I'm not sacrificing no good. One of the things that keeps me sane is I don't hate you more than I love me. I'm not angry so much that I can't love myself. In order for me to make sure you get what's coming to you, I got to project this energy from the depths of my being towards you, which means I have to have, no, I don't want that energy. You get a free pass, brother. Because my blessing you means now I get the blessing energy instead. You know why everything comes to bless me? Because I'm blessing everything that comes to me. In that blessing, I become the blessing. I have to generate a blessing inside me to bless it. Yes? Where's the blessing coming from? Even if the blessing's coming from God, I got to hold on to the blessing from God to give it to you. So I get the blessing. Every time I bless them, that's why everything comes to bless me and everything comes to serve me, because I realize I'm part of the whole. Yes, don't we? And so I'm serving everything. This is how we serve God. This is how we pray without ceasing, by understanding that we are always sitting at the throne of the Most High, indwelling and self-existent one that's living and breathing and having his being in me, through me, and as me. That I'm literally a walking, talking, living, breathing expression of the divine, of God. When I walk, God's walking. When I talk, God's talking. When I breathe, God's breathing. It's inseparable. It can't be otherwise. So now, who can mess with this? Scripture says, whom shall I fear? Nothing, except the not knowing and the not understanding. That's the only thing that I fear. That one day I will not know. And no matter what my conduct, I'm ending with this, no matter what the other person has done, or the other party has done, or whether it's circumstance, one of the things I tell people when I'm counseling with them and they're crying the blues and telling me their story of woe, I always say it could be worse. So if you hear me say it could be worse, you know what's coming if we're in coming. I say it could be worse. And they say, how could it be worse? How could it be worse? You could be them. You could be the person who doesn't even understand that this is a grievance, that this is a problem. You could be the unconscious one. And here's the beautiful thing. The person with the highest consciousness always makes the greatest adjustment, because the lower consciousness cannot adjust. So if you find yourself making adjustments, there's a reason for that. I'm not saying don't own your stuff. Okay? I'm not telling you to be a wimp. I'm saying always know the truth. Refer back to the truth and then be that truth. That's it. Be that.
Can we still share? Or is it closed now?
Sure, no.
Well, a few things came up. My fears are my friends. And don't shoot the messenger. There's all these spiritual things. Like I've learned so much from the working here and learning the philosophies and the spiritual presence. It's so easy to avoid it, but it's always talking to us, right?
I love what you say, my
fears are my friends.
fears are my friends. Let's have a party.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to invite all my fears to the table. Prepare a feast for them. Wash their feet.
Wow. Yeah.
So I can honor the sacrifice they made. You look at the sacrifice Judas made. Without Judas, there's no crucifixion. Without the crucifixion, there's no resurrection. They were both born with a destiny. Some people were born to be your teachers. And if you don't get it the easy way, you get it the hard way. I was born to be, if I'm annoying you, don't be mad at me. There's a reason I'm being a you-know-what in your life right now. Just bless me. And receive your blessing in return. See, but you know, that sounds arrogant, but it's not arrogant. That's conviction. That's conviction. Because I'm not telling you what I read about. I'm telling you what I know about. And the difference between belief and faith and knowing is I've practiced this too long to ever doubt that it works. I practiced it too long. So yeah, just bless me and love me. Bless you. Bless that. We're done. We done. Okay. I'll keep going.
That's okay.
I'm Pentecostal. We do this all day. Go downstairs, have dinner, and come back up and do it some more.
Anyway, thanks again. It was wonderful. Thanks.
And I thank you all wonderful. Each and every one of you. Okay, it's just stepping up saying, how good. See, everybody's leaving. They're thinking, well, how good can it actually get? Can I imagine a life where all the problems that I think I have right now, or that I know I have, are no longer there? What would it take for me to move into that space? And now, what's your name in the back, bro? Tyrone. Like Tyrone said, this is it. So if this is it, what's missing from the equation right now? Okay. My ability to see how good it is right now. That's not actually missing. That's quite present. No, I hear what you're saying. That's why we're missing it. But that's why we're missing it. Because it's like there's nothing missing. It's all right here. So with a sufficient amount of gratitude, people. See, God told me I was ungrateful. Said, you've always been a particularly ungrateful child. But guess what? The omnipresence is never talking to one person. When the omnipresence speaks anywhere, the omnipresence is speaking everywhere.
Right.
With a sufficient amount of gratitude, it changes everything. Everything changes. And that's what that brother's talking, George Tyrone's talking about. Sometimes you just need to call Tyrone. You know what he's you know what he's talking about. Say, yeah.
It's also true that we focus on expansion.
What you focus on expands. Where energy flows, attention goes, energy flows. Wait, you know what I'm saying, right? What you focus on expands. So focus on the solution. Every problem is not a problem. It's an equation. That's what it looks like when it's solved. It's an equation. Solve it. How do we solve it? Gratitude. All right, then. This is our time of sharing.
Yes.
And typically, I sit down now.
Oh, by the way, the basket's back there, I think. So if somebody wants to,
Yes, let me
see
pull
it
this
there.
out.
I saw it there a minute ago.
There's stuff in it. Is this the right
No,
basket?
that's the straw one.
Yeah, the other one, okay. And
It's not there. It is.
Is it not there?
there's a blue basket with stuff in it.
Oh, it's back there. Sorry, behind that sign.
Yeah, okay. See, how long can we keep him looking for the basket that's not there? How good
It
can
was,
this get?
it was a trick. Manifestation. Anyway.
Indeed. So, Perangeli. Okay.
We're going to do the
I'm
reading.
already going. I'm involved. So, we have an affirmation. Please repeat after me. In a spirit of, no, wait.
From a consciousness of
In a
abundance.
conscience of abundance
From a consciousness of
and
abundance
centered in gratitude,
and centered in gratitude,
I generously give.
I generously give.
I accept the gifts
I accept the
of
gifts
prosperity abundance
in abundance
as I demonstrate
demonstrate
divine circulation in my life.
divine circulation in my life.
In gratitude, I freely give.
In gratitude, I freely give.
In joyful acceptance, I freely receive. Thank you.
If you're giving online, it's give@sfcsl.org, and that's PayPal and Zelle. Thanks. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. Greetings,
offering
Crystal.
that's been received, knowing that it is an activity of divine circulation, where we recognize the flow of the divine operating in and through and as all things, in through and as us. We increase that circulation as we increase our giving and we increase our receiving. It's happening even now. For this I'm grateful, and so it is. Amen.
So it is.
So, yeah, that's what we've been doing.
You want to use the microphone, Piranjali? I don't know, it's there. Close.
Good morning.
So remain in that place, that central place. This is our time of prayer. This is a time of demonstration
Yes.
where we recognize that the many are actually one. That each of us is an individualization of one expression, one life force, one being that is being expressed everywhere. So as we enter into this still place within each one of us, we know that we're joining together in that body of consciousness of the one. So I speak the word in first person and in present tense. So as you hear me say I and me, please know that that I and me is expansive of all beings everywhere. For what is true for me is true for all, because there is only the all. And so in this moment, in this very place, I stand in a consciousness of wholeness. I stand in a consciousness of absolute oneness, recognizing that there is one eternal being, one divine creator that is manifesting itself continuously, loving itself into existence as the life of each and every and all beings everywhere. This power that has raised every mountain, this power that has set the orb of the sun and the moon in the heavens, this power that causes all waters to flow, is the very same power that is within my very being. And in the quietness of this moment, I feel my breath flowing in and out of my being. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale as one singular breath of life. And I feel the beating of my heart and the fullness of the synchronicity of all existence. There is only one, and I am an experience of that one. So here and now, I surrender everything unlike peace. I let go of everything unlike love. I surrender every pain, every sorrow, every experience that has caused me harm. And I speak my word for the each and the every and the all. And the letting go is not a shield. The letting go is not a rejection. The letting go is an incorporation of all of those experiences into this moment of who I am, knowing that they have served me to become even stronger, to become even more committed, to become even more resolute in the knowing of the truth of who I am. And that power surges through my being. That power informs every aspect of who I am. That power, that presence, that love, that eternal givingness is the manifestation of all of my dreams. I live in awe. And I am centered in gratitude for the healing presence of God in every aspect of my life, for the majesty of abundance that is mine to claim at all times, for the health and well-being of my mind, my body, and my spirit, and all of my affairs. I am strong in faith and a deep sense of knowing that no matter what is taking place, it is here to serve me, and all is well. The grace of God is my sufficiency in all things. And so in deep gratitude and in the fullness of surrender, I release this word, this prayer, knowing that it finds its home in all prayers that have ever been uttered anywhere, because there is only one. And so in love and in joy and in awe and in thanksgiving, I declare, and so it is.
And so it is.
And amen.
Amen.
And ashe.
Ashe.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like, I
Take
know
a
why.
breath. Take a breath.
Yeah. Sometimes you can be so out there that you need this lectern to kind of hold you up a little bit. All right, announcements. Well, the first announcement is, I believe it's Michelle. I'm not sure if Alicia is able to be here as well. The two
Yes.
of them are the complete embodiment of service, and they are in the kitchen helping to prepare our fellowship, which we will have at the close of service, moving and orchestrating all the chairs and tables to break bread together, and it's a beautiful thing, so very grateful to them for that. Nikki, thank you so much, firstly for the spirit that you are, and always give from that place of love and service, and for stationing, I was about to say manning, I caught myself, stationing the, what is that, ministry, the media today, and the reading, I think, as well, correct? Thank you so much for that. I just want to express gratitude to everyone for being here. This is a beautiful choice to make for ourselves on a sunny day, that we could be anywhere, and we chose to be in the body of God, which is where we are all the time, but you know what I'm saying, the community together, so thank you. Meredith, appreciate you so much, yeah, and the beauty you bring with your voice and your presence, really appreciate that. And John, as always, John. I don't have to say anymore, just like John, for all you give and all that you are. Am I leaving anyone out who is in service as we came later? Well, everybody, we all deserve our flowers, right? So thank you so much. Also at the close of service, thank you, Ayana. At the close of service, I know we're going to do fellowship and the rest, but if there's anybody who would like individual prayer, please come, just grab me. It is my blessing to pray. As Reverend Mwata was saying, anything that comes into our life, it is here to service. It's a blessing because we bless it, and that blessing moves through us. Same thing's true of prayer. You are never bugging me. All of those blessings are going right through me. So thank you very much for coming to get me to pray. All right? Yes. Yeah. I love.
But what I would rather do is if someone doesn't mind being in a prayer with somebody else, then I'll pray for a group of people. But if they want one-on-one, that's unless
Did everybody hear that from Reverend Muwata? He's saying that he's also available for prayer. He put it, I chuckled because he said if there's a backlog, so there's a bunch of people waiting for prayer, that he's also available. But he said he would also pray with multiple people at one time. So however it works out. What we say is, if there's something on your heart, if there's something in your spirit or on your mind right now that you want to turn over to the presence of God that is within you, within me, within all of us, please come so we can pray together. Because it is not only a great dissolver, it is a great revealer. That's just the truth. It's revealing truth. So don't go home with it like, hey, maybe I should have prayed. Let's pray. And if you have something you want to magnify in your life, prayer does that as well. So please just come if there's anything on your heart, your mind, your spirit that you are ready to be in the presence with. All right? So that's it.
I think so. Announcements. I don't know. We can.
Is there-
Daniel has English
Daniel's
does
boxing, Saturday mornings, I think it's at noon.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, love that hour. It used to be 8 a.m. I was like, It's back again, and it's at here
Yes.
at the center, noon on Saturdays. Yeah.
And as far as the sign-up sheets in the back, Eve,
Yeah.
did you want to say something? I can say.
As far as I know, it's 10 o'clock, it's only noon on the third Saturday.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So,
I would
well,
check. Is it posted online on the Facebook page?
It's in the newsletter. Yeah,
It's in the
look at it.
newsletter. If you don't get the newsletter, that's a sign up back there for sure. Yeah. So,
Well, and then there's sign-up sheets in the back for, different activities that we do weekly.
so I'm glad that you asked Eve to say something because I was remiss in not expressing gratitude to you. I know you're not asking for it. I'm saying it. I'm looking right at you. So, to Eve, because you anchor that all of the time, Eve, and it's a great way that community can stay in communication. So it's one of those behind the scene things, right, that doesn't always get acknowledged, and well, it should be. So thank you so much, Eve, for what you do.
There's a sign-up sheet there.
Yeah.
New, contribution for Hawaii's Inspiration this month.
A joy-spiration. I like that term. And then Reverend Muwata, oh, sorry.
Just to clarify, Daniel's, I'm looking at it now. It's the first, second, and fourth Saturday at 10 a.m. and the third Saturday is 12. So if you sign up for the newsletter, you'll find. I mean, if anyone
Yeah.
has any questions, they can see me.
So pick and choose. Your 10 o'clock or your 12 o'clock boxer, but you're a boxer, right? And then Reverend Muwata hosts a Zoom prayer call every morning at 7 a.m. If you would like to join that, please put your name in the back there and your phone number, and
You-
he will send you.
Yeah, all you have to do is,
You don't have to sign up for it.
copy down the, Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom ad.
Okay. 990-5000-8774. 990-5000-8774. Repeat after me. No,
Once
sorry.
again.
Okay.
Okay, I think-
And now Meredith and John. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I love myself the way I am.
Is that what we're doing? Okay.
We are now.
I thought I had changed it, but I couldn't remember what I changed it to.
Talk for a minute. I'll get the music.
Okay. So, John had mentioned that whatever I was going to sing, it matched the talk. And so when I was looking through the songs, I said, oh, well, this matches. I love myself the way I am. So, yes. So Spirit works through us in wonderful, delightful, heavenly, joyful, positive ways. And so this song is about appreciating all of that and knowing that Spirit is always working through you when you are available for Spirit and the joy and the peace and the laughter to work through you. Something just popped in and it said, and if you aren't available, then Spirit's not going to be working through you. So it's really an easy path when we let go of the stuff that doesn't feel right, that doesn't feel good. I'm mad at blah, 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 all the stuff we make up. So this is from Spirit to us. And it's the truth if you make it so. I love myself the way I am. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing that I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love y'all just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star, and I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all those things that I judge are done by people just like me. So until the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I will help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come from deep inside. I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me that I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Oh, yes. I love myself just the way I am. And I love each one of you just the way you are. just the way we are. Love yourselves. Let's all love ourselves just the way we are. Thank you. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Always amazing. Yeah.
Thank you again, thank you again, thank you again. God bless us, everyone. I took the liberty of looking this thing up that I told you about. It's called We Don't See Reality. And I'm going to show it to you right now.
Where's your mic?
Look it up on what's it, Instagram or TikTok or something.
Where's your mic?
What?
Your
The mic is off. I heard you.
There's that. Yeah, you guys can hear me. Yeah, I'm going to put that right there. So,
Are you trying to do
it's
it on
We
the
Don't
tape?
See Reality. And I can send it to you whatever, I can play for it, but it's really good. And so I didn't want to leave here without closing that loop because it's that good. So thank you all for being present. Live streamers, thank you all for being. Nikki, God bless you. What a beautiful soul. And Tony, one of the Tonys. Tyrone. Red, Charlotte, I love each and every, thank you. Good to see.
Yeah.
Ayana.
Faith is here. Ayana here. Well,
Yeah.
And just God bless us, everyone.
Crystal.
God bless us, everyone. God bless us, everyone. This is a path to peace. Peace is happening right now. I know a friend, he says, oh, he wants world peace in his lifetime. Well, I'm with Brother Tyrone. It's happening right now.
Yes.
So thank you, one and all. As we leave here empowered and buoyed by the consciousness of holiness. By that which comes before us, what Emerson, that which lay before us and that which lay behind us are tiny matters compared to that which lies within us. It's because we know this that we leave here completely assured and absolutely convinced. So repeat after me, the light of God surrounds me.
The light of God surrounds
The
me.
love of God enfolds me.
The love of God enfolds
The
me.
power of God protects and watches over me.
The power of God protects and watches over me.
God guides and directs me.
The wisdom of God guides and directs me.
The substance of God supplies,
The substance of God supplies, supports,
supports, and sustains me.
and sustains.
Wherever I am, wherever I go, wherever I think, do or say, God is, and all is well.
Let's gather in a circle and sing. I'm the place where God shows up. We are the place. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. We are the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. We are the place where God shows up. You are the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. You are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. Yeah.
Yes. Hallelujah. You are the place where God lives, moves and lives and has its being. You are the place where God shows up.